Hey class. All right, as we've established, the basis for our agricultural systems is plants. But as you'll learn this week, plants are not alone in nature. As they accumulate biomass, they build their fruits, they grow, other plants growing next to them are trying to do the same thing. Or there are other organisms that are outright consuming that hard-earned primary production that we so want. This makes some of these organisms pests to us. Take this as one example of interactions between crop plants and other organisms. These are Colorado potato beetle larvae chomping down on the leafy tissues of potatoes, a major crop pest in the US and actually throughout the world. Insect herbivores can be responsible for crop losses of, on average, 15 to 20%, though these estimates vary widely across the globe, with some of the highest losses actually in the developing tropics of Africa and Asia. And some crops in some places can be completely wiped out, 100%, by insect herbivores. So this is a major concern for small-scale and large-scale producers alike. So to build the foundation for understanding organisms in agriculture, we're going to introduce a couple of simple but really key concepts. Competition, which is the basis for understanding weed management. Herbivory, which I just showed you in the previous slides there, where organisms actually consume the biomass, the tissues of plants. Top-down control, that is the consumption of herbivores by predators and parasites, things that we refer to as natural enemies. And then we're going to try to pull it together by introducing the concept of integrated pest management, that pests in plants are mitigated by the actions of producers, farmers, agriculturalists. So all of these really play out in both natural and agriculturally managed systems. So as farmers and as agriculturalists, no matter what sorts of production approaches you take, you're going to be confronted with other organisms that are going to be affecting your crops. And managing them can be just as important as understanding the concepts we learned from last week, which is that of limiting resources, what the plants actually need as the basic building blocks to build their biomass, to build their tissues. So first, I'm going to take you out in the field to see some plants that are actually subjected to herbivory and talk a little bit about what plants have been doing for millennia in their struggles to keep from losing their body parts to other consumers. Then we'll visit my colleague Russ Groves here in the Department of Entomology, where we're going to learn about pests in Wisconsin vegetable crops, including these Colorado potato beetles here on potatoes. And we're going to talk about this concept of integrated pest management as ways to mitigate plant damage. Randy and I are then going to get lost in a cornfield looking for weeds. But I don't want to give you the impression that all organisms that are interacting within our crops are bad. Ben is actually going to show us some predators in the soybean fields in which he works and tell you about the beneficial organisms that we actually want to be part of our agricultural systems. And these organisms, these natural enemies, occur in all types and sizes and shapes, and they all do quite amazing things to those things that we consider pests. And then finally, we're going to wrap it together with my favorite circle and arrow diagrams, and we might take some additional detours along the way. And I guess if there's one lesson that you should take away from this week is that plants are not alone. Neither are you.